Hey guys, so first off, with this video, I just want to say I'm in a different space right now. I hope everything sounds fine, I hope everything looks fine, but if it doesn't, I did a few tests before recording, and I'm sorry, but I just hope everything works well, because I'm at my desk right now. I wanted to do a tier list video for every Star Wars show and movie. I looked, I hope everything's here, everything that I can think of is here. There might be some like fringe things that I most likely just haven't seen either way. Like I don't see the holiday special here, but I haven't even seen that anyway. I know it exists, but I haven't seen it. But I'm just gonna get right into this. I wanted to do a tier list of all the Star Wars shows and movies, just so you guys can kind of get an idea of where my opinions come from. So yeah, let's just get right into it. It looks like it's in no, not release order, maybe release order, kind of. But I just wanted to get into it. So first off, we have A New Hope. This is easy A for me. It's not the best. It is a great movie though. Started it all, has to be in at least A in my opinion. Like if it's not in your top five, I don't even. Are you really a Star Wars fan? At least as far as movies, top five movies. Next one, Empire, easy S. Number one, I think it is the best quality movie overall out of any of the Star Wars movies. It is easily my second favorite. We'll get to my favorite later, but I think it is by far the best quality of a movie. Just absolute perfect. I think this and A New Hope are just two of the best movies in the entire saga. Just absolute perfect movie. Return of the Jedi, same thing as A New Hope. I think it's an A tier. It has some minor issues and stuff, but it is still a great movie. I think the original trilogy is just, as a trilogy, it's perfect. I think there is absolutely nothing that they could have done better. And I just think that those three movies are borderline flawless. I just think that Empire is on another level from these other three. So next up we have Phantom Menace. For me, this is like bottom B, top of C. I'll throw it in B for now. I think it's a great movie. It doesn't help that I have the nostalgia for it, and Maul is also one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise. So realistically, without that bias, I'd probably put it in C. But I think it's a B tier movie. I think it's pretty good. I think I said great before. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but I think it's a pretty good movie. I think this one definitely has its flaws, like the Jar Jar Binks thing. Everyone has their problem with that. But I think other than him, it's a pretty good movie. And in my opinion, the Duel of the Fates at the end with Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon is top two minimum lightsaber duel in the entire franchise. So next up we have Attack of the Clones. This one is another one like I'm pretty close with these two. I think I like Phantom Menace better, and I said I was close with bottom B, top of C with that movie. So I think I'm gonna go top of C with Attack of the Clones. Another one where I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. I do think it's a good movie. I think it's a lot better than pretty much anything Disney's put out. I think the original six movies, with a few exceptions, are better than everything Disney's put out. So I don't think it's even particularly close, other than like two or three things. So I think Attack of the Clones is a good movie. It just, in my opinion, has the most glaring flaws out of the three prequels, and definitely out of the original six has the most glaring flaws. Like the dialogue is not great. I know there's like defenders of it where it's like, oh, he grew up on a desert planet and all that, but like it still is a little corny type thing. But like the Geonosis scene is incredible, and I still enjoy watching it. Like it's a fun movie to watch. Now here is my favorite movie out of all of them. Like I said, I think Empire is objectively the best. Like if you just look at it as a movie, I think it is the best. But I think Revenge of the Sith is my favorite. I'm gonna order these within tiers. It's really just a matter of if I'm ranking this on my favorite or what I think is the best. So I think I'm gonna go with my favorite, not necessarily which ones I think are the best, because I think maybe these would be ordered differently if it was like objectively which ones I think are the best. But I think I'm gonna rank by my favorite, and Revenge of the Sith is my favorite for sure. I just rewatched it recently, and it's just as good as I remember it. Just such a fun movie to watch, and just every single time I watch it, I hope he doesn't turn. But you know, it's just a great movie, and yeah, I think along with, like I said, Duel of the Fates has the best fight scene in the entire franchise. So the Clone Wars movie, this one I don't think I've watched since it came out. I rewatched the Clone Wars a couple years ago, but I didn't watch the movie. But just based off of what I remember, it's not great. It's nothing special. Like the actual show is much better. The movie was not a great start, so I think it is definitely like a tier gap between it and Attack of the Clones. I don't think it's F tier. Some stuff will end up in F tier. If you've watched my other videos, you know what's going to end up in F tier. But I think the Clone Wars movie is better than any of those things that will end up there. The Force Awakens, I think, is fine. I think they really fumbled this movie when it comes to the following two movies. I think this movie was actually decent. Like, I don't hate it. I think it's a fine movie. It's basically just a New Hope clone with new characters. But I thought this movie was actually okay, and I think Kylo Ren in it was really cool. I really hate how they handled him because yeah, he could have been such a good character, and even the other characters like Rey and Finn and all them. For context, I haven't watched any of the sequels since they were in theaters, so if I don't remember anything specifics about these movies, I'm sorry, but I just have no interest in watching them again. But I honestly do think The Force Awakens is a okay movie, and if they had just capitalized on what they had, they could have made a great sequel trilogy. But long story short, they didn't. Rogue One. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think this movie is amazing. I personally have it in my top three. Like I say, every once in a while, depending on which one I've watched most recently, uh, these two could jump up. Like it could go like this type of thing, but I'm gonna try and keep it to three in S tier at least for the movies. And Rogue One has to be up there for me. Just everything about it is incredible. You get to see the background of the rebellion being built, which you get to see again in a later show that I'll talk about later. But yeah, and then the Vader scene at the end is just one of the best scenes. It is, in my opinion, the best scene in Disney Star Wars. It is just amazing. I even really need to talk about it. Like, this movie is trash. Like, it might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's just so bad. Like, they're in a casino for what, an hour? And what do they accomplish? It was just so boring. Like, I thought these movies were okay at best when I watched them when I was, let's see, Last Jedi was what, 2018, I think, 2017. So I was like 15 years old when this movie came out, and it's just not great. Like even as a kid, I was like, eh. But just the way they did Luke, it is so bad. They so clearly don't understand the characters. And I'm sorry that I'm spending more time on the movies that I have to trash than the movies that I'm talking about that I love. But there's just something about being a hater. Like I'm just drawn to it, and this movie is just so bad. And they had something with Snoke. Like they could have had Snoke as a great villain for this trilogy, and then they just kill him. Why not? Just kill him. Why not? Next up, Rebels. I genuinely did enjoy this show. It's not as high as the Clone Wars is on here. It won't be as high as the Clone Wars for me, but I think it is either top of B or bottom of A. I'm gonna throw it at bottom of A right now. But if A tier does get clogged up, because I think there's one or two other things on here that I'll probably throw an A, then it might get moved down. But I'll leave it an A for now. It's in my opinion a great show. I didn't watch it when I was younger to be honest. Like when it was coming out on Disney, I wasn't watching it, but I rewatched it in like 2021. I say rewatched it. I watched it for the first time in 2021 and I did really enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it as much as Clone Wars, but I think it was a really great show. And the Twilight of the Apprentice arc, I believe, is what it's called. It's the one with Ahsoka and Vader at the end of season two. That is one of my favorite arcs in any Star Wars show. It is a great show, and the characters in it are amazing. Solo, I'm not gonna lie, I just watched this for the first time like a month or two ago. I somehow just never watched this movie, and I thought it was okay. I'd probably put it. I definitely. I'd rather watch Attack of the Clones than Solo. Like I said, I'm doing this based on my personal enjoyment. I thought it was a decent movie, but it just wasn't anything special for me. Like I think it might be a better movie than Attack of the Clones, but for my personal enjoyment, I think it's probably better than The Force Awakens, worse than Attack of the Clones. Resistance, never watched it, don't care to watch it. Rise of Skywalker, it it could have been a great movie if this didn't exist. Like this entire movie just screwed up the entire trilogy because they had a decent movie here. If they had just released three B or C tier movies, like they didn't even have to have, like, clearly in my opinion, each trilogy, the first two trilogies, original and prequel, has a S tier movie, and then two decent to great movies. This trilogy just had like one decent movie and two just atrocities. This movie was so bad. The dialogue in it is terrible. Just like somehow Palpatine returned and they fly now. Do I need to say anything else? Like this movie is so bad. This is it's the artwork for Clone Wars season 7, but I'm just going to rank it as the Clone Wars in entirety cuz I think yeah, that's the movie. So this is an easy S tier for me. It's probably it's my favorite show to watch out of the Star Wars shows. Like I said, I'm ranking this off of how much I enjoy it. I'd probably put it there. Like I said, it's just an amazing show. It's it's hard for anything else to compete with it because it's 7 seasons long. So just like the amount of content you get out of it is crazy. It's hard for any of the other shows or movies to compete with it. Like I said, it's just a great show to watch. And that the Umbara arc, the Mortis arc, the entirety, I say the entirety, the majority of season 7, the episodes with those twins there aren't that great, but it's just it's just a great show, and especially the ending was perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. Visions, haven't seen it, don't care to. Mandalorian, if I was making this after season 1 and season 2, it would probably be like here, somewhere, I think probably below A New Hope, but it would be like these two would be like this. It would be somewhere here. Mm-hmm. Maybe below Rebels. I don't know. I don't know which one I'd rather watch. But if I have to include season 3, and I think I'd have it like there. Just season 3 was not great. Season 1 and 2 were very, very good in my opinion, but season 3 was just not great. Like if I could rank them independently of each other, it would be like season 1 and 2 would be like mid to high A tier, and then season 3 would be like D tier here. It's just not a great series. Book of Boba Fett, I think it's better than the sequels, but again, it's not great. The two Mandalorian episodes were the best episodes in the show, and when your namesake character is not the main character in the two episodes that are the best episodes in the show, that says a lot. I don't even remember if he's in those two episodes. I'll be honest, I haven't watched it since it came out. But now that I think about it, he might not even be in those episodes. Kenobi, same thing. It's not great. I was hyped for the show. I think I'm gonna put it above Book of Boba Fett just for the Vader versus Obi-Wan fight at the end. That's a pretty good lightsaber duel, but it's not a great show. The Leia running scene and that scene at the gate when it's just open space, gate, and like a little guard post, and they're like, "How do we get through this? How do we get through this?" Like, it's so bad, but it's still better than the sequels. Like, I think those might be the only things that are gonna end up in F tier. I'm not gonna lie. There's something else on here that you guys probably would think I'd put in F tier, or most people would put in F tier, but I'll just tell you now, it's not going in F tier. Tales of the Jedi. This is the only Tales one I've seen. I'm just gonna throw the other two. I've seen like one episode of Tales of the Underworld. I started watching the Asajj Ventress ones, and it was not great. But if I haven't seen the whole thing, I'm not gonna rank it. Tales of the Jedi, I thought was fine. I thought it was pretty interesting seeing Dooku's backstory and story about young Ahsoka and all that, but it was nothing special. I'd probably put it like here. It was nothing great, but it was it was fun to watch. Just a little few short episodes. Ahsoka. Now I have a bias here because Ahsoka is probably my second favorite character in all of Star Wars behind Anakin. So I have a personal bias to this show, but like I said, this is my personal ranking. This is not a objective best ranking. I think I'm gonna put it. I think I'm gonna put it here. I would probably rather watch it than The Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 are better than it by a bit, but I think on average, if you factor in season 3, I think I'd rather watch Ahsoka. The Bad Batch, I actually kind of enjoyed this. It was kind of like a Clone Wars season 8, 9, and 10. I think there's 3 seasons of The Bad Batch now. I watched the first 2 when they came out, and I watched the third one maybe a couple months ago. And I thought it was okay. The third season was like, I remember watching it, and at the start, it was pretty dark. Like, I was kind of creeped out on some of the few episodes there at the start. And for a animated show that should probably be for kids, I was like, wow, this is pretty dark. But I'd probably put it here. I, eh, personal enjoyment, I'd probably rather watch it than Solo. I wasn't the biggest fan of Solo. I thought it was like okay. It was, oh, I've seen it. I understand the story now. Maybe I'll watch it one more time if I do a full marathon run through everything. But it was okay. Now the Acolyte. This is one, if you watched my hot takes video, that you'll know I don't hate it. I was, when this was announced, it was probably the most hyped up I've been for a Star Wars property since the Ahsoka show. Like, this and the Ahsoka show were the two things that I was so excited for, because it was a show about my second favorite character and a show about a time period that is really, really cool to me that we've never been to. And it definitely disappointed. I'm not going to pretend like it was an amazing show or anything, but I'd put it like here, in all honesty. I think I'd rather watch it than over any of these. I don't know if I'd rather watch it over The Force Awakens. Like, it might be like there. I think I'm fine with it there. Like, I genuinely thought it was like okay. I think that's how I described it in my hot takes video. Was I said it was like okay or decent. I don't think it's amazing. Like, I think, I don't know. This C tier is getting kind of crowded of stuff where it's just like I'm fine to watch it once. I don't know if I'd watch it again. So it's getting kind of crowded in there. But whatever. It is what it is. It's my list, and I thought The Acolyte was fun to watch. Like, that's all I'd say about it. Is I thought it was a somewhat okay show that had some cool characters, but it I just wish that this show, with the time period we got and the potential it had, I wish I could rank it up here. Like, this was, if we got a, even just a Ahsoka series level of storytelling and production out of this show, it would probably be my favorite live action show. Like, that's how much I was looking forward to this. And it could have been so much better, man. Skeleton Crew. This was one that, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like read up about it before watching it. I read a few things about it because I knew next to nothing about it and I didn't really care. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to like force myself to watch it the first time I watched it, and it was actually surprisingly good. Like, I wouldn't say it was great. I enjoyed watching it, but like I said, the first time I watched it, I was like, I don't care about this, but I just kind of wanted to watch everything that, obviously I haven't watched these, but like, not canon, and like, I would actively avoid watching this. Same thing. I can just throw this and haven't watched. No, I'm not. I'm not a child this is made for. Uh, but yeah, Skeleton Crew. I would put it like somewhere in this range. I think I'd rather watch The Bad Batch again than Skeleton Crew again, but I think it's below Solo. Uh, I don't know. I I thought it was. It's not a good Star Wars show. I'll put it that way. It was a decent show that was fun to watch, but it wasn't Star Wars to me. So that's all it is. Like the Acolyte was more Star Wars to me than Skeleton Crew was Star Wars. That's just the way I'm gonna put it. Andor, S tier, easy. I I think it's above Rogue One for me. It's like this is number. It's like 1A, 1B, and then like 2, and then 3A, 3B. Like they're just perfect. Like Andor was, again, it was something where going into it I almost had to force myself to watch it cuz when Andor season 1 came out in I think 2022, I watched the first couple episodes and I'm not going to lie, I was bored. Like I just didn't get into it at the start. I I've gotten a little older and I really did enjoy it when I watched it this time. Like I said, I had to force myself to watch it, but I enjoyed it really quickly. Like by the time I got to the second half of season 1, it didn't feel forced anymore. And the more I watched it, just the better it got. The second season is it is without question the best Star Wars Disney has made in my opinion. Like it is just perfect. If it was independent of each other, I'd probably put Andor season 1 below Rogue One and then Andor season 2 above Rogue One, but I I don't even hate having both above Rogue One. Like having both seasons above Rogue One, I don't even hate it. Like whatever. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. So here's my overall tier list. Probably gonna hate some of these. Specifically, I think this one probably a lot of people are gonna disagree with because I know a lot of people would have it here or like at best here, but I kind of enjoyed it. So yeah, I think that's really the only controversial take I have here. Like I don't think there's anything else here too crazy. Maybe like Ahsoka's a little high for some people, but yeah, I don't think there's anything too crazy about this. But if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. If you want to tell me that the Acolyte sucks and that I'm an idiot for enjoying it, go ahead. But like I said, it's just my opinion. But thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this where I'm just kind of sitting here ranking things, talking to the camera, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe. I appreciate it, and help me get to 1,000 before the end of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.